RK's Guyana Free Media presents for human development and national development this message.
And friends and families, brothers and sisters, RK's Guyana Free Media Part Episode 73 on the elections in Guyana 2020, the absolute ridiculosity of an election, the gross stupidity of Guyana elections 2020. Friends and family, beloved divine friends and family in Guyana and around the world, namaste, assalamu alaikum, peace and blessings of God be with one and all, of all religions and all races. And let us forever remember, as we are in this campaign, we must continue to be one human family under God, loving and caring for each other, watching out for each other and protecting each other, my dearest friends and families. And the man on the white stallion, Freddie Kissoon, imagine him riding that horse with righteousness and wisdom and language, vocabulary that tickles the human imagination, and how he gets the facts on a daily column for everyday newspaper is something extraordinary. Freddie Kissoon, as he rides his white stallion to help our country to awake from the dead. Taken from Kaieteur News, Monday, July 6, 2020, a secret about the CARICOM recount covenant that must be told. Covenant means a kind of a contract, an agreement. A secret about the CARICOM recount covenant, the recount covenant, or the recount agreement. Covenant means something like turn holy, an agreement that is holy and blessed, that must be told by Freddie Kissoon. And here is the article. Beloved divine friends and families around the world, the revelation below I have never mentioned to any of my friends, though I speak to Len Gildari of Kaieteur Radio often, and we talk about our roles together on the radio in the analysis of the election saga. I never told him there's only one person I transmitted the information to, Leonard Craig of the AFC leadership. I used it in my argument to reject the particularistic comment on his on aspect of David Granger's character. I mentioned it in a combative manner to Craig to open his eyes to the failure of Granger as a leader, a politician and strategist. Craig apparently was saying contrary, in which he was defending President David Granger character and honor and so on, and he had to kind of scream in a fighting manner to Craig to open up his eyes to the reality of President Granger as a leader, politician and strategist, according to Freddie Kissoon. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm wondering, why am I getting so much of threats and hate language? These articles are merely reading, giving a few commentary here and there. It's not my article. Why you all think you want to take it out on me? But so what? The sun is watching over me, the breeze and the wind is watching over me, the earth and the grass and the microbes are watching over me, and also the microbes of disease are watching over protecting me. So you do your evil or anything to try to hurt me or destroy me, all these universal energies and power, including the microbes, will visit you as you use your big fat tentacles to try to squeeze me. The microbes that you can't see, that's floating in the wind and in the air, will target you and destroy you and things that you love. I fear nothing that breathes. I fear nothing that's dead. I don't even fear an animal. That's the heart. The Pathan and the Kshatriya, this bloodline in this body, for you who are threatening me, you must know this body here, this voice, this power, this strength that I have, it comes from the Kshatriya clan, the warrior clan of Hindustan, India. I salute my ancestors of India. Operator, show me the map of India. I salute my ancestors of India. I have Kshatriya or Kshatri blood flowing in here. And then let me show you the other part of me, the Pathan, Afghanistan. The Hindu and Islamic power, the Pathan bloodline in me, so I have a blend of the two. So I don't care of animal, human, dead or alive, especially those who come out from the grave and want to walk, or Frankenstein and Frankenstein children. I'm afraid of nobody. I'm afraid of one person. My Creator and my Lord, my God, of all the religions I worship. Islam, Sanatan Dharma or Hinduism, Christianity with the Bible, Buddhism, every religion I honor that talks about the glory and greatness of God. I fear you. You? Why would I fear any of you? Are you conspiring to hurt me? You pull your pants up just like me, and your zipper. I'm not afraid of any of you. Never did, never will. Do what you want. What you all did to me with my business to try and wipe me out in the first 3 months of 2015 is unforgivable and despicable. And that is what is telling on you as a form of a disease in your skulls. And more will come on you. I did nothing to you. I cursed you not in public. I did nothing to you. I didn't even rebut like what I'm doing now. I wait till your end term has ended, because I'm patient. The sun, the moon, the microbes, the stars, the grass will take my vengeance for those of you who try to affect my life and deny me what is supposed to have been mine. But my Lord is my watcher. Back to Freddie Kissoon. Granger's a leader, politician, and strategist, so they were discussing. Freddie Kissoon is saying, I'm a trained historian, so I know that memoirs and autobiographies do not tell all. The writers take secrets to their grave. Biographers who are close to their subjects will not objectively publish negative snippets because of their protective instincts, which is a commentary, a typical human trait, to only want to say nice things that you have done. You don't want to say that negative things like I would. Be honest, being a human being, making mistakes. Back to the article. Whoever was close to Janet Jagan, Forbes Burnham, Fidel Castro will not offer the readers moments of disturbing details. Castro had a reckless love life while he was fully in charge of Cuba. Nigel Westmost of the WPA is planning to write a history of the WPA. Oh God, I will help him, man. Freddie Kissoon, let Nigel Westmost speak to me. And whatever little resource I have, because most of it was taken away since 2015 by you know who, and I'm smiling, let them take do what they think they can do to me. Well, 1 or 2 persons in the government that was nice and pleasant, and I will respect them and salute them. And one of them, who was nice and pleasant and kind to most people, was that same Chief Whip, Amna Ali. Yeah, good woman. Well, her job is to be Chief Whip of a party, so she does her job. But as an ambassador of peace and a humanist, you couldn't find any other as kind and good and loving of her. I salute my sister. I say salam to her, peace and blessings to her. God bless her. Another one who tried to help me in 2015 when they were shutting me 16 in 2017, terminating my contract before I could start, even though they gave it to me. And she tried, but she couldn't help. Valda Lawrence. Out of politics, she is a good person. In politics, it makes the worst of humanity, brings out the worst of humanity, politics. So, if Nigel Westmost want to write whatever little I have, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to contribute something to help him to do this. Nigel Westmost of the WPA is planning to write a history of the WPA. Nigel Westmost, if you're hearing this, please see me. Westmost can tell you, I put the question to him recently in an email as to whether he has the objectivity to undertake such a project, because they were very egregiously disturbing dimensions in the collective life of the WPA in the 70s that he may eschew. He might not want to include dirty things of the WPA. Terribly, conceitedly, definitely disturbing dimensions in the collective life of the WPA, Freddie Kissoon says. But he will have to do that if he wants some kind of a support from yours truly. David Hines is supposed to be doing a biography of UC Guyana. Freddie is saying, I will not pay much heed to such an outlay because David is going to obfuscate serious wrongdoing Guyana did to Guyana when he was Sidney King. I was a little boy, and I just remember that name, Sidney King, when I used to run on the road as a little boy to get the newspapers, the Mirror, at that time the Chronicle, Tablet News didn't exist, the Liberator, the Raccoon. I used to read this. These things have to form my mind. You know, if I got into politics, I've been a deadly politician, ladies and gentlemen. So Sidney King, I remember that name and some of the shenanigans that he was involved with Forbes Burnham. I'm coming now back to the article. I come now to Mia Mottley, the Prime Minister of Barbados. 5 CARICOM Prime Ministers came to Guyana to dissolve the vexations. Beautifully written. To end the quarrels. To create the harmony and a nexus of goodwill. Weeks after they came, Weeks after they came, 3 of them made statements that reflect deep chagrin, deep distrust, pain, and shame. First there was Keith Rowley, who predicted it will not end nicely. Motley has been in a frustrating mood since. Ralph Gonsalves openly displayed his annoyance. All 3 felt that David Granger betrayed them. President David Granger betrayed them. I added the president. Here is why. He's giving us why. We keep assigning the birth of the idea of the recount to Granger. This is not true. Freddie Kissoon is teaching us now. Listen, the man is a professor. This is not true. Here's what happened. The United States, livid about the rigging, decided for strategic reason it was best to work through CARICOM. Since Motley at the time was CARICOM's chairman, the US dialogued with her. Motley knew a president was already in existence. CARICOM had sent Ulrich Cross to examine the disputed 1997 election in Guyana. Motley offered all of Guyana, Guyana's international partners, and Granger himself a way out of the disgrace. My commentary, what, a way out of what? The disgrace, the shame, the shenanigan, the pain, the letdown, and the brainwashing of their supporters to commit fraud and to destroy the career and the name of PNC people who put their children, ladies and gentlemen, 3,000 of them, and they call them scamps and crook, and the one who did that was a man named James Bond, and even others in the party. Eventually they got quiet on it. They destroyed the name of those beautiful children who went out there and were enthusiastic, and I met many of them, and they were doing a beautiful job representing the APNU and the AFC. She offered Granger himself a way out. Back to the article. She suggested a cross-repetition of 1997. She urged that Mingo be put aside and go for a recount that CARICOM team will participate in. Granger agreed. After the 5 PMs left with gargantuan smiles on their face, big gargantuans, big smiles, you know, big, humongous smiles, lots on their faces and satisfaction in their minds. Granger reneged. Now the left feeling victorious. Imagine what is in the heart of those people, the CARICOM leaders, how they feel about President Granger at this time. Me too. I always say right nice things about the guy. But what happened? According to Freddie Kissoon, Granger reneged. Let's hear what he has to say here. But Granger is full of himself. With his mediocre thinking, Freddie says. He believes he can fool the world, Freddie Kissoon says. First, the plotters decided to frustrate the CARICOM team, and the contingent left. Freddie Kissoon says, and which we know is true. I'm adding support to that. Then the plotters took to the court to stop the recount. What Granger and company were betting on was that the full court would rule that the recount was illegal. The full court knew the law empowers GCOM to act on its own behalf, and literally distracted Granger and company by saying that the law prevents CARICOM from supervising the recount. Let me read that piece again. The full court knew the law empowers GCOM to act on its own behalf and literally distracted Granger and company by saying that the law prevents CARICOM from supervising the recount. They got lost in the thought and the reality that GCOM could not be involved, even though in a way he invited through the United States of government working with the chairman of CARICOM to broker this deal to save peace. Rowley was enraged when he heard this because in the dialogue with Granger there was no mention of CARICOM undertaking the recount. Rowley was livid too because he felt Granger had deceived the 5 CARICOM prime ministers. What Motley contracted Rowley about the return, I beg your pardon, I read again, when Motley contracted Rowley about the return of the recount mission, Rowley would have nothing to do with it. He extracted himself, ladies and gentlemen. Rowley felt that he would have been insulted again, because they were already insulted. So he advised Trinidad's chief elections officer not to go back with the group. Prime Minister Keith Rowley, let's put his photograph up here, ladies and gentlemen, and honour the man. Principal and honourable. Let us put Mayor Motley, photographs of, over here, operator, and Raul Gonzalez. And let us put the 3 of them now together as I salute them and honour them and say thank you, thank you, thank you for working so hard and facing such nasty attacks from one political entity against your character and your dignity. Thank you for trying to save our beloved country, Guyana. Back to the article. So he advised Trinidad Chief Elections Officer not to go back with the group. 2 others of the original team said they were not interested in returning to the recount, with one of them complaining about the attitude of Roxanne Myers. The deputy seal or attitude, not only to us who are the observers and everyone there, her mouth, her face, her attitude, and then it is known she is a political acolyte of the APNU or the PMC. So she was strictly carrying out certain instructions. That's why they did not want Vishnu Prasad, who won the right to be employed. You can see the conspiracies that were involved. The very way certain policemen of high standing were removed from their positions, assistant commissioners, and put into place where they functioned like a junior staff as a constable, where the power was relinquished from them. You can see the conspiracy to keep one set of people in the positions to control the elections and Guyana in what we have that I call a non-violent coup d'etat. Back to the article by Freddie Kissoon. 5 CARICOM prime ministers met with Granger. He agreed with their proposal for a recount and he backed down. After he agreed again for the recount and it took place, he rejected CARICOM's declaration of the vote tabulation. In other words, ladies and gentlemen, commentary, he wanted it to be in line of his thought. And maybe that is why Mia Motley was given this award, because they know things will be happening and thinking that she was their friend, and maybe ethnicity and so on, failing to realize that some people are above such things. This man here is one of them. In my conversation with Craig, in which I transmitted the information above, Craig asked me how I know about this, with a mountainous smile on my small face. I asked Craig how he can ask me that. If Craig is reading this, he should ask his leader, David Granger. Read back to the last piece, please, ladies and gentlemen. Operator, can I read it back? Sure. In my conversation with Craig, in which I transmitted the information above, Craig asked me how I know about this. With a mountainous smile on my small face, I asked Craig how he can ask me that. If Craig is reading this, he should ask his leader, David Granger. Friends, brothers, sisters, Guyana, an appeal to the ruling group who are enjoying the fat of salaries and payments which they should not be at this time, and which I think should be repaid, you need to have, pray to God to enter into your hearts. So when you lie and you do these fleetful things, the devil enters into your hearts, and what is good looks bad, and what is bad looks good. Ask for clear mind and conscience, and ask for a clean heart, and speak the truth. Speak the truth, and speak it always, cost it what it will. As a little boy, I saw that in the wall of my school in kindergarten days. It stays in here. Speak the truth and speak it always, cost it what it will. Your friend, your brother, me, Haji Dr. Ocean Khan, saying thank you and farewell, friend.